What's up, wrestling fans, sports card collectors? Today I am talking about the Iron Claw, the movie. I saw it last night, and don't get me wrong, this is a great film, but is it the best wrestling movie of all time? I don't think so, and I'm going to tell you why. Stay tuned for the Iron Claw, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
CollectAWrestlePalooza, CollectAWrestlePalooza.
So let's start with the good, the narrative, the storytelling. There are three basic stories or struggles being portrayed in this film. Fritz Von Erich's desire to be the best in professional wrestling and as the patriarch of his family, the Von Erich brothers' athletic struggles in pro wrestling or on the sports field, whether it's carry and discus or the brothers in the pro wrestling industry, and the Von Erich brothers' struggles to find an identity within the family and under the father's constant drive to succeed in wrestling. And the movie weaves all of these conflicting struggles into this really delicate human tapestry. The casting is spot on, particularly Holt McCallany as Fritz Von Erich. That depiction is complicated and Holt plays it beautifully. He's likable and stern. He's driven and accepting. He's soft and chiseled. And he shows the waves of culpability, of grace within the face of the Von Erich tragedy perfectly. And he looks just like Fritz. Kevin and Kerry are awkward and stoic, just like they appear in real life. And David is tall and charismatic, just like he was in real life. And the movie pulls you in. It tells the story on a very small scale, with the family room being portrayed more importantly than the announcing booth of the professional wrestlers. The movie is all about family. Professional wrestling is the backdrop, which is appropriate to a degree, and there are enough pro wrestling references to make it enjoyable for pro wrestling fans and non-fans alike. It's a really beautiful film. The scene of Kevin imagining Kerry in the afterlife and of Kevin pounding himself back and forth against the ring ropes are particularly memorable scenes. So what is bad about the film? Well, first of all, I don't think that Zac Efron looks like Kevin Von Erich, which bothered me. And I couldn't really suspend my disbelief in certain scenes. And while Jeremy Allen White looks like Kerry Von Erich, he's smaller than Zac Efron, which also threw me off because wrestling fans know that Kerry was the He-Man, he was the bulky one, and Kevin was the more slender high flyer. But that didn't bother me as much as the fact that the movie did not highlight the triumphs of the Von Erichs. It also did not acknowledge the love Texas had for that wrestling family. It nodded to that fact, but it didn't drive it home. I imagined there would be scenes of fans with their hands all over Kerry and Kevin walking to the ring and female fans crying as Kerry took off his robe. The relationship the boys had with Texas wrestling was downplayed in the movie. We didn't see too many of those types of scenes, and I would have liked to have seen that balance between tragedy and triumph more, the balance between superstardom and humanity. It weighed much more on humanity and on the tragedy than it did on the superstardom and the triumph, which I would have liked to have seen more of. I also didn't like the title screen. I liked it as I was watching it, but in retrospect, I find it a little disrespectful. So Fritz is stomping on his opponent relentlessly, and the title, The Iron Claws, blazoned across the screen. So the movie is suggesting that Fritz has a claw hold on the family. That's what the implication is, and that he is the Iron Claw himself. And in reality, I think the claw is a much more complicated symbol for the Von Erich curse. I would have liked a less direct metaphor at the opening of the movie. And the ugly, 2 words, Ric Flair. Aaron Dean is horrible as Ric Flair. His acting has been panned by others already, and I agree. The greatest of all time. He comes across as a farce in the movie. It's completely disrespectful, and as a wrestling fan, I just can't get behind the depiction of how Ric Flair styled and profiled in the movie as opposed to how he was in real life. This is the GOAT. This is the greatest of all time, and they should have done that a little bit better. And that does it. While there were some things that I thought could have been done a little bit better in this movie, some things that I thought were done perfectly, it is a great film. It is a movie that everyone should see. A24 is putting out some interesting films. This is no exception. We're blessed to have a movie of the Von Erich family. What a great story, something that everyone should know about. I went with my wife. We both talked about it afterwards. There was enough subject matter to really get on some meaningful discussions about life and family and what it means to be a dad and to be within a family, all of those various things. So I think everyone will be able to relate to this film. It's very, very well done, and I highly recommend you go see it. The Iron Claw.
CollectAWrestlePalooza, CollectAWrestlePalooza.